Good day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Yeah! Well, no, people have been saying to me, yeah! How comes it is that you ain't covered that new Queen song, which was retrieved from the vaults of the Miracle sessions and polished up by the surviving members and released recently? And the truth is, I've never actually listened to it, so I don't know why, but it hasn't been on my radar. I'm probably a little bit reluctant to look at it because I'm such a massive Queen fan that it's kind of like, it's a dangerous area, isn't it? It's, you know, you just never know how you're going to feel about those things and whether you're going to like it. And I just want to love everything that Queen does. So I think I've just been a little bit afraid. So today I'm facing my fears alone, and I'm going to look at the song that's called Face It Alone by the music band Queen. One of my, well, in fact, probably my favourite band of all time. Justin Hawkins rides again. It was written by Brian May, John Deacon, Roger Taylor and Freddie Mercury, and produced by David Richards, Chris Fredrickson and Justin Shirley Smith. Shirley Smith would be probably somebody who creates Shirleys in a workshop of some sort. It was recorded over 30 years prior to its eventual release. It was originally thought unsalvageable by Brian May and Roger Taylor. In a review for The Guardian, Alexis Petrudish, brilliant, he's a brilliant journalist, gave the song 3 out of 5 stars, adding that whilst he felt it was not a bad song, nor is it anything approaching a classic. On the day of its digital release, Face It Alone became the most downloaded song in the world for 5 days in a row and topped the iTunes download chart in 21 countries. Why have I not heard it yet? It's really weird. Brian May spoke about the creation of the song. He says it was done incredibly quickly. Freddie probably wrote its words in the morning and was working on the song with his strange keyboard. I don't even remember playing the guitar on it, to be honest. I was probably just playing something to get us to the next verse, something to feed off. We resisted the temptation to go in there and do a number on it with me playing new guitar bits. We resisted too the temptation to turn it into the epic it could have become. It's very stark, as you can hear, with very little on the track, as sparing as can be. There are places where the boys rescued a word or a phrase to make a reprise of the verse, which makes sense, because Freddie did 3 takes, but that's it. I was pretty emotioned up. It was as if he was there, and you realise again what an incredible talent that was. Such an amazing human being with an extraordinary instrument, meaning his voice. Oh, wow. Okay, so this was released on the 21st of October. It's called Face It Alone, and I'm going to watch it for the first time in your company. Okay, so the way the arpeggios are working, it's kind of got a little hint of Bohemian Rhapsody in it, but the chords are changing in a totally different way. So I think it's like E minor, and A minor, and then down to G, and then B. Maybe it's a B7, I'm not sure.
And dear to life explodes in sight.
It's nice to hear him go, explodes in sight.
You feel your soul.
You feel your soul. I like it when Freddie used to put the edge on his voice like that.
Something so deep and so far.
Yes! When he pulls the trigger, it's awesome. That's Freddie.
You have to face it all alone.
God, it's got a little bit of reminds me of Who Wants to Live Forever, that bit. When love must die. It's like that little bit there, isn't it?
All alone.
Go. Now, if it was Metallica, and Nothing Else Matters, it'd be there, but I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen. So. It's true, isn't it? You could recognise Brian May's guitar playing from 100 miles away. Isn't he the best? So if this stuff was recorded around the Miracle session, like remember that the Miracle was like, that's one of the first ones they released when I was properly into music. So it's kind of like, I think it had, that's the album that had I Want It All on. What else is on there? I think The Invisible Man was on there. Breakthrough. That's one of the last sort of records in the Queen oeuvre that I was really fond of and totally into at the time it came out. I think I was about, I'm trying to work out when that came out, the Miracle. Let's look. Yeah, so it came out in 1989. That's actually the year that I was properly getting into music. So I was 14 at that time. And I was listening to Pump, Aerosmith, The Miracle, Queen, that kind of stuff. That was a good year for the arse end of sort of 80s rock. It's also quite a big year because I think that's the year that they brought the Berlin Wall down. So you even had like stuff like David Hasselhoff singing Looking for Freedom in Berlin on a wall with a great big eagle on the back of his leather jacket looking all rebellious. So it was kind of like, it's an interesting year for music, I think. But this definitely feels like it's of that era, doesn't it? And if Freddie went into a whistling solo, you know, it's in the same wheelhouse, I think.
In the end.
I think I can hear what Brian's talking about there because that is such a reduced chorus. I mean, of course, the drums come in at that point, but you can imagine it with like a massive bank of Queen harmonies in the background and all the other sort of bells and whistles that they used to put on. But I think they've deliberately left it sparse like that so you can really hear Freddie's voice and you know, the unique timbre of it and the way the way he controls it. I mean, there might be a little bit of melodyne in there. I thought in the first verse it sounded like it was having some sort of pitch correction or help, but once it got into the sort of more interesting bits of singing in the second half of the verse and coming into that chorus, they definitely switched that off.
When the moon has lost its glow.
No, 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 no. Oh, that reminds me of something that does. Got a little bit of the Pink Panther theme about it, in a good way.
When the moon has lost.
Okay, I think that's probably an edit there. You can hear that sort of the way that line repeats.
When the moon has lost.
I had a little gap that needed to fill in there, I think. And then there's a lovely counter melody sung by Freddie himself.
You have to face it all alone.
On that thing when he's got his mouth closed and he's still giving it the vibrato through the resultant hum at the end of that line. It's really nice. Yeah. Well, it's quite poignant, isn't it? I mean, I just think there's some great singing in.
When something so deep and so far and wide.
Yeah, in the second half of those verses, that's when you really get the full Freddie experience, and it's there's nothing like that. Nobody else can do that sort of stuff, you know. It's awesome. It's like a curiosity item, really, isn't it? Just a little thing to show you some Freddie singing. It's just the reason why this exists is because we miss him so much that just hearing that little bit of brilliance in the second half of that verse makes that whole thing worthwhile. I'm really pleased for them that it's been such a successful release. It's just nice to hear him sing, isn't it, after all this time? Lovely stuff. Cool. Nice one, guys. Wow. I'm going to go and have a little cry now. Well, first of all, I'll unmute the guitar, then I'll play the theme tune, then I'll go and have a little cry. Justin Hawkins rides again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and watch one of these two videos. Yeah, all right!